womo na womo entimi emwa edwuma ko bi ka we ho enmre womo ajatuma womo ebo ye chidom ena ye de ensamwe ebro na nwumre ensamwe de abeti ebi ene se ye no be ko atwaye mantam na twaye jembuafo edwuma ko ho no mo etire mu se beebi a womo te na empo womo ye adwuma no enko yie krakra e wasa ban enemanimu ya wotimi ba womo srabe mu ebasiesie enema e wo honom edema womo
Ghana Jodifo nkabonko so asrapan yi se big push jumade ya wote ban wonhwe na wo ma nwuma dodo no a emfiri oman emu
addition mo ebia womo ekwaprese yanto womo so aba ewo NPP amanyokuo no emu no eye ora Kennedy akompre kwaja po woka ho ebi enam so amankofo bi ekire mu a enta womo hwehwe nipa foforo sanse womo hu ne se aba no yetoma na 2028 enya de wo betimi afra benwa no
nyame ya domo a July bosom de dikan aban de asi wo se ereda ye de bebo mpaye adatwedi ampoase ewo man na SD asafo ne se womo agye tumpa nyame ya domo a eda ne du a womo de ho bagimu bi
Hadishimama and somewhere ebi kawe ho ena enumre yede esumo se Paramount News Great Commission TV so ojebra yede enigede ebeka ho ebi yasa edewo akọ amarane ehonsam so yede atwa so ede amao Bora Facebook na share a Great Commission TV GH YouTube so okokonoma enumre yedem ubenya bi ahwe Play Store so ye app no ewo kono oko App Store so abetinya download bi na ode atu phone so wahwe de ye ewo ahanu nyina enwe ya ya jepenie na ye de ensamwe evrewo eyeme na nekua atreba acha mini abema
omahene kofi asempa abusiama ye nan ho na eba emfa nko ensem no mu ankasa
Oh yes! A brush of say we beba o diet so so person yenzen training no abem. E kwan na bie. Ejira me de the Ayam Media and Professional Institute Echrewe. The Ayam Media and Professional Institute eye bia ye tete nzantwefo. E mo be nzantwefo mapa. Ye de wom kra ne say practical ne 80% and a theory eye 20%. So we want to hear what the Ayam Media and Professional Institute are. You better acquire internship our Great Commission Television and I think so Radio SM Online and now radio and that TV station. Yeah, actually, my Ghana and Titiana Yedema ono ebine graphic design, motion graphics, video and audio editing, camera handling, TV and radio presenting, communication skills, media law and ethics, media production, news writing, editing and a reporting. It is a JHS Nwewie and now SHS and now push your phone say University akwenya ne da oma and your men say adajo Fred the Ayam Media and Professional Institute CA
I was 0544 713 929 and now says 0500 200 033
and now we call one office what Great Commission Television Nungwa Cantamanto Omobe St. Michael Primary School the Ayam Media and Professional Training Institute
where professionals are trained. Shannon Sose Singapore accredited by the National Schools Inspectorate Authority Nichomutia from Nasia.
Hallelujah Nyankopon tumi wo so Nyankopon wo sra e wo so na se wo pese wo kope emu nimdie se na be ya betuma ye adwuma wo wiye brei mu a na ikamfo Center for Apostolic Ministerial Apprenticeship kama ene dia mawo Center for Apostolic Ministerial Apprenticeship esi Apostle Joseph A. Jackson sreso pe Ministerial training courses ahodo pi na yeye wudi dwuma bi ewo Nyankopon fie na sa opentete a apostolic ministry training ewo homa yeye prophetic ministry training, pastoral or teaching ministry training, women ministry training, youth ministry training and so ho, Christian missions and church planting training, evangelistic ministry training and so ho, eldership or lay ministry training and so ewo hwa kama for eye ediama wo Kama ewo Unique Icon International School a ebe Royal Ravico Hotel ewo Nungwa ewa Kraheya Freyen 0500 200 033 and 0246 819 345 sɛ wobɛgye nteteɛ ɛwɔ kama ɛnneɛma wei bi na wo nsa bɛtumi aka ministerial license ɛne credentials apostolic consecration for apostles prophetic consecration ɛne ne ɛkeka ho nyinaa wo nsa bɛtumi aka bi Center for Apostolic Ministerial Apprenticeship kama where servant leaders are trained.
Paramount na eba Ghana wo pe baby atena emretia wa bi wo ye Ghana ni nanso wo hwehwe baby na de utiato emretia wa bi ntem ma menkamfo Jessica Villa mawo esanse ho de e ya tena ye kama ya wo mo bibia bi ho adan ya yesiesie mu ene kitchen wo mo swimming pool or rooftop ena apenso wo niam ahodo bebrebo a emo wani gie no wasetena ewie pay Jessica's Villa e wo East Legon ajega no ye ne kane mampani JJ Rollins fie ene di hwanimu e ya fraying L +233 5919 40622 and our +233 2051 44001. Ubetumi so WhatsApping L +447 944 022 187 and I send your email ewo nanasapon 7.
Ewusia ma yes anso na yemu akwaba ebra kase yi eso afe ma yemfri kase ni nchemu ase emfa emmao ene yi a ena mampeni a wono ewo eye etwatiri eye mampeni nwati woba bepie mu oman Ghana emu na ne nanchese nyina ne se woba na empo woni Ghana empanifo aba beka bom na anyonkofo eda yentemu no wo matimi ahyemu kena se de beya nneoma bia wo mo betimi aye ede aboa oman Ghana no wo beye sanso na Ghana nso de beye etimi ade aboa ne man no wo yenso yaye ede aboa no ene obesi fom ewo Ghana wiemhyengi abade na kyesenya sam ketwa empanifo botwi a Ghana mampeni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eka ne ho ebi a womo ekokohia no na woni mampeni kohia ye de ensemo de womo de bitu dwa ebo nkomo ewo honom empanifo kire mu a ne fo mako enan ena His Majesty King Nwati a wotoso miensa wo babedi ewo oman Ghana mu ofiri ha yi de obekwa kopie mu ewo Asante Mantem otumfo se tutu ne nan so na enkomo bi ewo honom no wone no edi ena ewo ba ye no baabi a wodi kan ekoye eye mampeni ne nan so yenko honom na yenkonkotie enkomo ebia Kenwati eye etwatini eye wo mu peni one mampeni John Dramani Mahama ediye.
It is very, very strong. So for us here in Africa is to duplicate what the EU, all their success stories are, so that we can also do similar and transform our African places. So how the two countries can share in a lot of information, exchange of culture, trade, and tourism, and other sectors that are there. And now let's try and see how we promote the two citizens from capitals to exchange visits. Yeah. In that way, we get to know each other very, very well. We are so happy that we have quite a big community from Ghana, which are staying in Eswatini. And I can assure you, Excellency, that all of them, they are well behaved. That's me of Eswatini. And we are looking more for more opportunities like this one. Then let's work together and let's see what things we can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless. Thank you. Yeah, so. We have. Oh, okay. Your Excellency, we also have some presentation.
Thank you.
Some items which are manufactured in Eswatini.
Okay.
To remember our visit.
Okay.
And this is some from yourself, and this is our traditional attire.
Okay.
From Eswatini, and also the Queen also present some of the items to the families.
So I'll wear it when I come to a festival.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The first may leave us now.
Absayan 27 so na yenkoye ni mampani John Dramani Mahama na ni swadi hu ba ko bra na wo bonto nyina wode eto Ghana fo anim eye big push ya na wo ka ho asem se be dwumadi ya ebeboa na ayi akwan ahodo mai mafe enyuma ahodo bebie bebre na ama Ghana mabru so anya enyuma ebie aye nam so ama Ghana Union of Traders Association twatia from Guta peni a woda no aye Dr. Joseph Obin wakasa e de afa ho ya wo kire se obesra da se mampani ani swadi hunu ya big push yi se ebreso se odi hu dwuma wonhwe ema enyuma ahodo bebie dodo na enye de ebewo man mu a nemum enema ahodo a ebeda na die no enye de free yeman mu a se koba ne se ye beboa pa ama enema ahodo ene ebo ebekofo mafe emabunu so ebenya adwuma ni bia ye pa eba ne sa nso a Ghana edwadie no ebetretem ama akwa homa ahodo so enu to wasere na da se woma oman mu niema no ehia dodo pa ewo big push project ya mampani pese wo ye emo.
Doubt is the best in terms of manufacturing in the whole of the world, and that we have to take opportunity to work with them and then understudy them, and that's why we'll appeal to government to find a way that the Chinese manufacturers that are coming are partnered with the locals, even if it is about 40% by law and all that. It will enable us to be able to understudy them, because that's the way to go. We have to enhance on our productivity, and how are we going to do it? Most of us, the traders, we want to migrate from trading to manufacturing, because we see that is the surest way to go. We cannot continue to be importing the goods whilst we have the capacity to produce here. It will take some of the stress from us and all that. And so coming face to face with investors, the caliber that we've seen here today is very, very important, and government should continue. And then whilst we are talking about this, government should also start creating the space. If you want to industrialize, how do we go about it in the ease? Because ease, time, and cost of doing business is what we call the trade facilitation. If you don't have it in the 24-hour economy, then what are we doing? So government should do everything to create the space, create the industrial parks and all that. So those of us in the trading space, when we want to go into manufacturing, we just acquire this industrial park, and then
Harishmama Gucha Penny and no woman fan count said the bay bebwa papa yanko and some fufro emu. Nana say dear social mind Ghana move pa dear but a career dosso into your wooden cremo for papana a war mind Ghana mono sanso and the agencies are hold one anaba and the other one more cemetery me a bow not what to quine. Obecom Becco drew a area mushen jambiano now when in to track on some. A bew a hormone was you, but Modian crater with Fako a year office na one baby be a dear mobile cock do hormono, not just what you wedding in Wisican, what the quadra da we are Hushia, and ye. And I'm sure Emma a bimocrat so buono a boy and pennyful be say. One more motive visa office hormona one more, and a one more AD said you may. Way and I'm so empty. I'm a year council general, and in my United States embassy at a war Ghana Hanomu say, a year Mr. Elliot, a year fatigue. Wakasa and what dear to just say. Shine your eye, and ne or my Ghana no, and you will be a behunu bia and a ye genusa. So per se utu quine, now per se wunya be a vesa dear any bomodia. Omancasa or platform or betimia honum, now dear for honum. Oh, homes who are pedio be a jatum to say go some travel and talk. Now one more intimate and wow, and yes, I dear. Now one much would dear, and ye and conquer baby and more be a subo. Say woman I do seek a dear a sunset. papa no ewo honom wo ton so a na wato papa preko ne nsem bia wode tu dwa yenkonkotie ewa bekwa ene ye sister station baako ene no ebo nkomo.
Current policy, we obviously engage in media that for all applicants. And under the new policy, I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
Under the new policy, we are engaged in enhanced vetting of the social media and online presence of all student visa applicants. And that's why we are telling student visa applicants that they must set their social media profiles to public before they come in for their interview. Other than that, the process is mostly still the same. You still have the interview. The officer will ask the applicant questions about their study plans and how they're going to pay for it, and then the officer will make their decision. Enter the United States for a certain period of time, up to and including life, and they could even be subject to civil or criminal prosecution if they've engaged in criminal activity or fraud. So, and perhaps worst of all, they make it harder for ordinary law-abiding Ghanaians to get visas in the future by yourself. It is outlined how to do it on our website, and there are also on the website phone numbers and email addresses that you can use if you run into difficulties. But what I would say in particular to look out for is visa fixers or visa brokers who claim that they have some sort of influence over the process, and they demand thousands of dollars, and they say they can guarantee you the visa, or they know someone on the inside. Let me be clear. They are lying. They are ripping you off. And I cannot tell you how many sad stories we hear of people coming to us saying, I paid thousands of dollars and I didn't end up getting the visa. Or, I mean, there's even people who claim that you can just mail in your passport and get a visa without even having an interview, and without going through the visa interview waiver process. Current policy, we obviously engage in media that for all applicants. And under the new policy, I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry, Ezi asafo den krabata ya ewo sehwiyo so mansiri no emu ene omaya mamre ene amane asase se nyame yadom a ya wode de yanimi ya wo mo ehye mpaibo kese ase etoamu akakopem dwungusume de toso apienu enkron na dwumadie no ase ene nam so ema sofpeni ya woda asafi ano pastor Elijah Kufia Sante echemu a woyese se wohwe mampani ade suade hunu se nyame yadom a July bosome ne de kan yi ye besi wo ama omanmu nyina ya bompaye adatwedi ampo ase se de ekoso amama so nyina wo ma Ghana de eda so eti asomdwem wo se sa adwumade yi na ne je ho papa ya SD asafo yi wondo ho ebegimu bianu ti eno ma hye wo mpae bo ase ntem se duru ho a wo mbetwa mu na wo so ato aso bie aye eno no woto aso a wo kire se ya na omanfo do na ene tai eka se SD asafo yi eba de mpae bo se ya no mo mpe wo se da bi ntesa SD asafo ombo mpae pa na mum se de binom eboro dudu mu no wo monyane sa eno ti ena nam so ma omanfo ehunu se ombo mpae na du mpae a wo msoso ombo bi pa
sana dodo na adwene ye wo mu na Kristo ni bia ni ho a omompai jese mpai bo no ya na ye philosophy kwanya ye fa so ba ye mpai no nya kikikiki de bia kwan foforo binum so binum fa so bo no nti ama binum adwene ne se dabra ye mompai enso mi hu Kristo ni a obesom nyame no beka se wo mompai nti ye bompai pa ezifo bompai papa se ye de no enye kikikiki se de binum esusu no enu nti na ma na wotwe mu no ye di sa adwuma ya conference ya ye eti asemu a eda so eye heart lift burdens shifted encountering God's power in prayer say ye de yakoma ye ma yakoma so ama Awurade na fe ne so ane nkonu a bonsam de agu yen so no nyame nam akoma pa ye ma so de ama no so no wayi nkonu no afiri yen so ewo mpaibo mu ayefa eti asem no efrimatu asempa eti edu baako egichemu aduonu wotwe osemu amaye adwuma aso amone so anu maye adwuma bre mo mra me nchen na mema mo ahome company e de abase bosome a eye July no ne da edikan no Ghana man nyina fansi ho na ye mompaye ema oman no ezi asore no so asobu ndenden a ye de eye adwuma fi se ye hunu se so oman no betumpon a enye nipa ho oden enko a na ebetimi de aye ye hie nyame moa ene nyame banbo enti dwumadi ne hyehye se be ya ebesi ada no a omampani e de atudwa no so ase ya kan nyina bo ne ya bom paye ye di ama ankrenkre ne asore no na ye di ama oman Ghana the Bible no di ho adanse se ye ko oman bia mu a ye mom paye makro no ye di makro no ye di mu na ye nso ye bedi yi enti dwumadi mu no nye se ye bom paye ama asore manko a na ye ba ama ye nko aye ho yom ye ba ama oman no ene wiase a etimu no nyina se nyame o ma ya so ewo saa bosome emu ye bom paye nko ane ye tenase a nkunibidi ma success is divine intervention plus human effort the ye bom paye no na ye nso ya famu die ewo mu no na ye enti oman no aye nyina wo man ni mu no so oman no be ye yi a ejina me ne wo so hyehyɛ aban no be ye no sese ye nyina ade tum ye nyina ade ahoɔden ye nyansan ne nimdeɛ ɛde boa sɛ be ya ye honhom de no na ye honam nso de na be boa ma oman no atimi atumpɔn na ye ka sɛ ye bom paye ne ya bom paye nko a ne ya te ada na sɛde sese ye se nipa no atimamufo no ya anye de a ene paye no nko no ntimi nsesa hwe ze nyame ntɔ hyehyɛ mfiri soro emfa megu asase so ɔde hye nipa adwene mu na fei ɔde maye ne a na enso yatu ho anamo na aboa ama yenya asomdwe ɛwɔ yasetena emu sana dodo na adwene ye wo mu na Kristo ni bia ni ho a ɔmɔmpai jese mpai bo no ya na ye philosophy kwan ya ye fa so bo ye mpai no nye kikikiki de bia kwan foforo binom so binom fa so bo no dia me bi ma adwene se abra
ensem foforo emwe na NPP amanyoko womo edi atudwa se Jerry Boso me da etwato krakra wombehwe na womo atoaba eyi opani e wono na ebetimi ahwe ekra franka edi ama womo na 2028 abato ebekwa koto no womo etimi akwakwaja bemia no edefi amanyoko NDC womo eteso na mtunti amankofo bi etimi yi womo ti mene wo ekase yi edi mampani dada na bedeche eye Dr. Bawumia wo ka ho ebi enkane Asensen Tramra Shebedwane Ora Kennedy a compare with Japan or so ewo mu ebi Sharon so na enkane so afo na wo hwe ye ho asua ho nsam so wo no eka ho ebi Ora ya wo say edutum ene Ora Brian Achampo na eba say ade hye mu bi kire wo madwen sha enka empo no kofi ene betimi akọ anase ama ena ebeko na no na eno ye wa ha yi a na wo mu kire mu a enkane eye mantema hodo no wo mu akachefo no MMDC ni big boti ekopie mu Dr. Bawumia hono ma wo mu kire mu se wono a ena wo ko se yi ade wo mu endorse no wonko no obedi enkunem we na mso enti ama enei communication team member Edema NDC amanyoko no National Democratic Congress eye Ora Hamza Suhini Shaibu akasa no wo kire na adwense Ora Kennedy akompre kwa Japan de wo bia nwuma efa eye mabu no e wo manga na mu a sanke ye mane akwanya na obetimi atoa so na so no sade papa etia no ni ye bi no ne body language bi wo hono mu a ya enkoyie ne kasa kura sade wotimi etina eye TV so na watu ayampia ene de keka ho no wode omu ne se anhwa kura na wo mu de ni di wo mani mu a na 2028 kura na hwa na wo madi ntwo enti wo mu nsan kwatena se nko drawing board ne so na obi a wo mu hwa wo polish na wo mu de ba Ghana fo betimi atọ no wo mu mfata nipa no emfambra.
This is largely Christian. And so, indeed, they found it difficult to accept Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that if you are a progressive leader, then you begin to engage them in a more meaningful way to be able to let them accept you. That is the essence of leadership. We've all known that. Look, in University of Ghana, before we went to University of Ghana, we were told those days that it would be difficult for a Muslim to become a SASI president. And indeed, the dynamics showed. From year one, we had an agenda and we said that, look, this is the first, at least let us set that record. Let us challenge the status quo. We presented a Muslim candidate. And fortunately, we campaigned because we knew that we were challenged. We campaigned, we reached out to many of our Christian brothers and explained to them why there was a need for University of Ghana to send that signal that indeed, irrespective of your religious affiliation, you could be given the opportunity to lead the SRC if you demonstrate your ability to do so. As a result of that collaboration, we were given one of the most, if you like, Crefe-like running mates, because even many of the Christian blocs on campus suggested a candidate to partner our Muslim SRC presidential aspirant. And interestingly, at the end of that election, they said Muslim candidate won for the first time. So that is how you challenge the status quo. That is how you engage people. So, but if you are being utterly dismissive of the fact that your religious inclination did not play a role, then clearly you are not even willing to contribute meaningfully to the progress of the new patriotic party. And for me, that is my worry. And I think that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should be more accepting. He should be more receptive of some of these, concerns being raised, and actually seek to find out whether indeed his religious inclination and ethnicity played a role. Because that is one sure way of making an impact in the next election. And that's an advice I'll give to him as a senior brother. But I can assure you that when it comes to the issues of credibility, again, that is one aspect that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is lacking. Because indeed, he used the last 16 years of his political life to carve out for himself a very problematic perception as someone who is not reliable, as someone whose words cannot be taken. The is now to what is happening in the United States of America, and the danger that you can subject an entire nation to, dependent on your choice of a presidential candidate. So we simply cannot risk, irrespective of the political parties we belong to, whether National Democratic Congress or NPP, we simply cannot risk the likes of Kennedy Ajapong getting closer to the politics of this country, or to the presidency of this country. That is something we must not gamble with. Because apart from the fact that Kennedy lacks that temperament to lead, he himself can be a rogue and instigate people to cause mayhem and destabilize our democracy. We saw it when President Mills was president. His attitude. This was a gentleman who on live TV called on accounts to go out there and assault non-accounts. Even within the internal politics of the NPP, we can see the tension he injects into the politics of the NPP. It is not hidden. So as this democracy, we are all major stakeholders. There must come a time that irrespective of our political party, we all must agree that characters like him must not be given the opportunity to get closer to our presidency. Absolutely not, because that would be an indication this is largely Christian. And so, indeed, they found it difficult to accept Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that if you are a progressive leader, then you begin to engage them in a more meaningful way to be able to let them accept you. That is the essence of leadership. We've all known that. Look, in University of Ghana, before we went to University of Ghana, we were told those days that it would be difficult for a Muslim to become a SRC president. And indeed, the dynamics showed. From year one, we had an agenda, and we said that, look, this is the first, at least let us set that record. Let us challenge the status quo. We presented a Muslim candidate. And fortunately, we campaigned because we knew that we were challenged.
Etomemu yenka bi siemu na ebetu dwase kane abankrate no makoma besa hanu akosia Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ya womo ekyerese womo tanachi pa ewo MPP womo abato ya womo abeto aprefrankatuni ehu no ena nam so ama kane mra sebedwane de ma womanfo ya womo ewo anyanso otuom ononyamfo Dixon admako kisi eto aso bi a wo kyerese se wo hwe MMDC sahudo yi a womo ekyerese Ura Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mutanachi no ya na dodo mu a ebu ho a na kasa keke sanse saa titayi a womudo ma no keke kan edumi nane abato sanse ya kan yetene da e wabatum yetawachi afi be wiase no ubehunu na akakofo hawo ene de aba enuti se wotete ne se ya ema omanane nye hu bebre sanse saa ne ma nyina no etumi kofa ha foforo e de ba be wiase no na ebeto aba na de wo hwere no antimi anko ne saa nti omane timu nyane de bebre se wo mutanachi nti wadi nkunumu ano hwe na nema bi wo ho a onfa entutu ye.
If anybody feels unfair, it might make it very difficult for whoever wins to have the entire party with them. And if you become a flag bearer of a smaller grouping within MPP, your chances of winning the general election is reduced. And for that reason, I'm troubled by the fact that if we're not careful and do not follow past and agreeable constitutional provisions of doing building your base upwards, then we may, if we had apathy at 2 degrees, we'll be looking at apathy at maybe 38 degrees if we go this way. That is my worry. However, I must admit, quite frankly, that Dr. Brady Champon is very ready, and I think the other candidates, because I believe one of them is very comfortable with this, is also ready. So it's not necessarily about candidatures' readiness, but the opportunity to market themselves and make a strong case, and then also to ensure that the base of the party is ready or in readiness to go and work and bring our party back to the executive office come 2029 January. So that's one key thing.
The date is
now,
just about 6 months out. Is that ample time? Is that enough time?
That is
to
why
market
I'm thinking that, we need to make sure that there's a fair playing ground. And when all is done, it's not skewed to one direction, and that the candidates have an equal chance. If not, you may become a flag bearer of a smaller grouping within the MPP. And that is recipe for losing the general election. So are we choosing or making flag bearership a priority over the presidential race itself? And we need to be guided by just what happened in our immediate past. Now, moving on to the declarations. I remember Honorable Afeyomakin, the current minority leader, was very clear to us, even in the 8th Parliament, that he felt strongly that our defeat was contributed largely to some of these declarations, which made some people very upset. And he advised strongly against the members of Parliament doing public declarations, in the sense that if things even go bad, basically they should be the ones who further the reconciliation process.
Right.
And that is in the interest of the party, that our current members of Parliament conduct themselves in the same manner as the leadership of Parliament, so that they stay neutral. And let me also add that, en bloc declaration is no guarantee. Even in my own small experience, when the entire chairmanship of my constituency declare for you, there are no guarantees that their polling station will fall in line. In fact, there are some places where,
Now, Western Regional Directorate at the National Disaster Management Organization, ye trying to send NADMO or more a year at Rejemu Buafo. Nefa a honomo actually say, baby, one more day, now one more Juma dear, and quay, one more actually, and yes, you say, baby, one of my four. Baby, one your mother go and they can hono. I am busy basa. Ain't any money we as and can buy my poor Diabra or Monsa. I have one monkey, betting me up one papa. It's answer office no one motin or moon is say any office is answer near my and quay. Na say I may know what I can say one more power penny power no, and a year NADMO director Edema one more. A year or Daniel Darlington at Chicho, one no ebomodia Edin Samutu Jasan so. And addition more a beer one more a year a juma, or one so at the one more dear account. Yeah, what you want to say, they said, or more not import one more the toll. Mumpany any empty for
But because of the snake, there are holes here, so I had to change my sitting place to here because it's very scary. It's scary. The last time there was, even just yesterday, it was coming. We got a call from the down office that there's a snake climbing. It tried to enter the other offices, but since it couldn't, it was coming up, so we all had to go outside and wait outside. So
a working computer, and we lack equipment to actually work because of what I just said. Our systems are all outdated and then they are broken down. So that has actually has impeded our work because even sending a memo is a problem. Sending out reports is a problem. Printing out stuff is a problem.
We did of government property, but this is not what we call it. This is not an individual house or individual office. It belongs to the government, which has to do with Ghanaians' taxpayers' money. So if we are, in fact, just sitting on aloof, unconcerned, then it means that you are not taking good care of government property. So that is why I am saying that, having been in place regional director of NADBO, there's a lot of things that I'm going to sit down and then make sure that government properties are put in place.
But because of the snake, there are holes here, so I had to change my sitting place.
Akuafo ya womo ewo agona kwasi twum krom ekurei omu twalitia efe na agona ketiki akuafo yi a kire se womanfo bi edwo mo nsase eboso a eyade a ombo nyoso kra na enemu ahodo ya ekoso ewo ho no ya womanfo yi a kire se womu tu anwea wo ho na sade womu si esensase ewo mpotem ho no ano ayeden papa namso ama akuafo yi ate wo ho agumonten so aye kire se animarimi ya mpenifo embre mu meboa wo sanse de ekoso no ha adwene pa na nakwasi cheyi otoso nan eye agona kwasi krom ehine ene wo kire se wo hwesa sa anema yi a ekoso yi a ha ne yi papa sanse omanfo fiti eye ekua ewo mpotem ho enye nne ebi eye yekua nsasetam beye se eka no 20 no ma ye ekua dua abro banchene ade ewo so na so ni nyina omanfo yi edwiri ni nyina etugu ha adwene ye pa to musrada se ne manimi yayi se 24 bibi ya omeye emfama wo
Sumbrem Schedule Division Commander Usubrambi Sansa asem ne benwo se wan bema sesei wose asem e baba wo kro no hon enye ne nansa wakwakofa langard fuo so ye soja fuo wakofo abagu asase no so se wobodwuru nyama na to agu wo mo bia kapre
tietia wo tuan ahe na ye nkatena oman mpanyimfo womboboye na yae mobo ewo keti kekuro no mu yesre
and we 50 acres waton ekwafo a wo ha no adwuma wo ya ma wo de hwe womba school na de nipo almost about by 400 ne wo tu afa asenati one transfer bra ye sha wo ye no won wan taase na wo emu so wan taase wo the force go to that one taase to ma mo de court wo de injection wo de todo de da won twen wo sesi wie afi ya hwe nti be se de abam mpanyimfo biara botu abam ma asem na kofam wo mreman won te dem asem ye to achichichi bi na orben wo he anya ntokwa kasibi rubesi before e ba ko hwe na ya na wipa ewu ansana nti e be sere DCE onye MP ni mpanyimfo a wo be ma be yi no mo de wo mreman Sumbrem Schedule Division Commander Usubrambi Sansa asem ne benwo se wan bema sesei wose asema baba wo kro no hon enye ne nansa wakwakofa
ya wo hwe langard fuo so Commission TV eso yenyina agona ketike nsem iso na yentwa homreti eba yedo beko amahodo so ensem emu
Enuano ne adafo meden chasonko ede mu obi biara samre ohweme wo kasamfoni eso medin de nana otafrija owusu ageman mene kwankyerefo a meda time heba ano ene ede edura to din time heba mesha yede abadwama so ene baabi abefa bia drasto heba shop pharmacy shop baabi ade kansa time heba mesha ni abone mran se TIME wasa kansa time no TIME Juma edie ne se malaria fever me pa cho wo bi a wako hospital na lab ni aka cho malaria fever na se 3 die e wo mogya mu dia edura wo behia time heba mesha time herbal mixture na ade a wonya bi na no nom a ebeboa yi saa malaria parasite no afiri woni padua no emu ne nam sent obu abos na num ato ontumi ne di obu okra otumi ka se me de me soro kwampa mente kom obesoro ne waye boho obu abos obesoro na awode no ebeduru awia no wate asi ebeduru nimre na wasan eda ho bos na no ho na epusi chechechechecheche obenya penkra bi awe ebeduru nimre na wasan eda ho pepa cho oyo bi a wutie me na wo hwe me a bomaden na koto saa tam heba me hyai bi kokoto aduru bi na so aduru hwe na hu dwuma tam heba me hyan edie sanse aduru ne ye aduru a wonom eboa ma otumi didin eboa ma otumi anum suo eboa ma otumi adwonso yare we kwampa betena fidie so na manka na so aduru na ekọ dane dade meta kan se Nyankopɔn ene se yade ayare safiri Onyankopɔn na so de adua tam heba me hyamu to onya bi na no ma ebetu aboa papa obu abo so asene na ase ehyehye no ne honam edwa no okoto kete so a ontumi na nani begu so saa ma ade ache me nua ba me papa me maame a wotie be eya ade a emwa obu okwa dare dabo se na pressure na ewo soro obu okwa pressure na ya ma ne nu a wonom na so na ewo soro ade ntrebi obekọ hospital obekọ akwa check no na ne malaria parasite na akosoro ne sentra cover saa o how na ade abre no me pacho wotie me abomaden na no nom time heba me hyane bi obetimi dia waduro nom na no pa awia ene enumre na ebeboa madane da wanya apomde soronko emri maame bi ne me kasai wo so on time ba me hyane empare woda krokran pa wanum bi se woto akwaro anya bi anom a na no honam ye basabasa sanse no kwasem se de nubra enu tahini ne haha hodo ene ayatwetwum nsuo na de time heba me hyano na adwuma edie ne de me pacho esewani ensese ye ka kire ho ni nyina ne se wabeto aduro bi na waso aduro na ho dwuma aduro no edie sanse mpanifo se wiase mu obi bekọ abeka kire wa entese wa okohu sanse wani sama yense opreka bomade ne bowura drugstore herbal shop okwa ankasa meto aduro bi akeke okwa also petam herbal misha obu aye ka ne se won fa aduro ni din entritrim obekọ drugstore herbal shop no afi no kwa kwachirechire ma kire ho ametesi no bi kasa na wo chirechire me yade yare pa no ka ho asem no yebebu sanse ye aduro bi o se aduro ni de me wura fi afi ni akofa aduro bi ane de ama no da ne da sam ta ka ne se emperenfo sa kokọ ne mapema o mu nyina ne pe ne so bi ane ne ntakra na ma kokọ yakasi o na so ntakra bo ne de fa nyinam kwatre kwa obeto aduro na aduro ni tibi mboa ne de ka wanto aduro ni krampo ankaye ne sentra make for time heba misha make for dia amasa bomade na nunum bi na yade a ebeto aboa papa ama won so watumi ade ho wo wa akra wo boarding house ofrimfie dumienu ekwa wototo ye ni provision wototo ne ma akwa koma na school mu no na wato time heba misha ne bi na wo de akwa koma no sanse mprepi no ofia ne afro na oba ne yare o na aba na waye hoya na oba no se ka nyame nko anka bibi ya no mesro no no time heba misha ne bia utobi de mana yade a ebetumi aboa no enu akire ye de time HH herbal capsules and afi ye de ne mesha so no ye de aba edwama so no na ye duro no betima no capsules no anase ne mesha no na obi busa se HH herbal capsules ana ne mesha duma be na edie broni ka bi se general well-being na ya kasa na je se nipa efiri wo na se kopemutin onu madura etime boa esiesie ho brasses ene red brasses no amada ne dare e ba nya hode stronko na aboa amakwa tia yarewa ahodo me pacho yo obi a wutie me dane da yare bia baba bia no utumi nya bi dane da no na waye mre na honam na waye boho a wono no tam HH haba misha anasa the capsules bi a e ya ade a ebeboa ama so watumi adon ho me pacho ye be ma na se wutie me wodwonso na obe mam ehyehyew ensansa na abegugu be ma ho a obokra bosina moja na efirimu na eba no no tam HH haba misha anasa the capsules no obokra ha bosina honam no ase bibi ne nanam na wonam mu na so bro ade nsa beka o hunu hwe obobo sase na dikosua ase ni trima se kukodwie bi ene namu me patcho nom tam HH haba misha anasa the capsules ni bi ni padodo na na yusu aduro bi e ma danse a wudi fa aduro ho enya asem ketwa me patcho yo oba na se wutie me obo sran so na nsuo na efiri wase na eba obo ha na bosome so a efiri okoro bo se nsuo na eguno obo abo se na enka wom me patcho nya tam HH haba misha anasa the capsules ni bi a ebebo yisa o ha we afiri ho esabeboa amaware aso emperifo so obanyansane yeburumbe na yenka nasam timpacho yo ba na wutie mi a fatam ba mesha anase tam HH ba mesha na capsules ne bi fire waduro na yade a entimi emwa o ebehia masaka wonom tam ba mesha no na kare tam HH ba capsules anase ne mesha no eka ho na ebasade a eboa papa emba wapomde ne timi CP isita bowra drugstore herbal shop pharmacy shop ye number egu screen no so obetima hwe na wafre yen number ye 02
Say so yemfa ensem no enko obi man so ensem emu. Ye ko Thailand na one more ene Cambodia. Beye mfie kakra yi ede mentime hwase eda wom amai mienu yi entem edam sokra ma me ne wo ekase de Cambodia nyadea ubetimi edi nuane efiri honom ede akọ Thailand se o import ana se wo export ede akọ honom wo mu kire mu a ba ne se fruit vegetables ne de keka ho de untimi emfa bi enko honom wo mu edidi mu aba besi ne wei ena ene yenkonko dan story a Thailand fonso ede krata ababonte wo mu nsam nyina ne se wo mu so se yi se wo free baby a wo man bi a wo free mu na wo be fa wo mu honom se wo kọ Cambodia de ene lalai obi ani honom obetimi afiri wo mu honom akọ esanse wo mu so wo mboda no wo matum wo mu makwan ema obi a emfa honom enkonkopie mu ewo Cambodia man no emu enti no se wo ye ka anase wo ye nimpa de ene ne wape baby foforo wo fa baby ana kopie mu honom de a wo mu ene wo eni asem na se obefa Thailand honom akọ Cambodia de ene me ne wo ekase wo mu makwan ewo wo mu boda no eso enti no se bia nwumere wa ye krado se obefa Thailand akọ Cambodia de a ene me ka che se wo boda no wo mu se wo matum enya de wo mu so be makwan ama obi afa wo mu honom akọ kopie mu ewo Cambodia eno ne ensem ebia krate enwumere wodi aba yenso yensa ka bia ya kenkan bi ede amo se Paramount News empo omahodo so ensem
abusaya twaso na ekowie kase yi ewo enigide emue na enadwumade bi koso ewo nkrabantem ye oman Ghana ene China epenifo ahodo hia ye ehwe kwan befa so na oman ye nsrahwe ebetimi akona nimu pa namso ama peni kwankyerefo ye ahohwe nsrahwe nsem so ewo man mu maame efua hwajetu wakasa wodwumade yi ase ene wo kyerɛ sɛ wobone trim na waye nhyehyɛ sɛ obetimi asi agropama foforo kwa ewo kekos ye wo mfimfiri mantemu eno ebeye bia omanfo beko ho akɔgye wani pa wei ebeye didi kan kora ya ebeko kekos kuro no emu wo kyerɛ sɛ wohwɛ dwumade yi ebebo papa ama wonso nsrahwe ahodo ekoso ho no ebepagya ne mu yi pa saa ne man eya ade ebebo yi papa mo man yi nsrahwe nsem ebetuma kɔ ne fisika sem so ebetumi abaso ne sem bia wode tudwa ewo dwumade na se no entie no
to create the first amusement park in Ghana, and we are looking at Cape Coast. We are looking at creating the very, very first amusement park, state-of-the-art amusement park to add to our tourism destination. And you know, we have the Kakum Park. The Kakum Park is also a place where we can enjoy our natural environment, we have forest conservation going on there, and would like people to also support us when it comes to building some eco lodges in that space. And I must say that I'm already talking to a few people who have shown interest in putting together some eco lodges in these places. So we are looking at eco lodges at the Mole National Park. We are looking at eco lodges at the Kakum National Park. We are also looking at expanding the space when it comes to, event centers. So event centers, so we are looking at putting one together in the central region, and we are also looking at putting one up at Accra, in Accra here, to create the first amusement park in Ghana, and we are looking at Cape Coast. We are looking at creating the very, very first amusement park, state-of-the-art amusement park to add to our tourism destination. And you know, we have the Kakum Park. The Kakum Park is also...
na adwumrei kasia de besom Paramount News yemfa nyina emra na wie ediaseda ema Eden Hills Residential Services omada mbeboa wo amansa ase ahodo ye awo pedi nyina da obomoten apebia mawo edafom boko langa de sembia nim babi so a nsuo beto ma nsuo yira fa nyina ebi enim enti Eden Hills nsase de edaboko pa ya wo pen wo mu a obema opi ama wato Center for Apostolic Ministry Apprenticeship beboa wo ma da yeso se obenya me adwuma na timi abam pa e de amobeboa wo atetew pa ama wososo oda yeso timi abam e de ama hola sevia Herbal Center se brai na wo mo na fe opomudi enyina brane pa e ba ne se bi anyaro bi na etete wa ne nyina da obehwe atu ase e de ama go sim travel and tour obawo am akwantusem atimi akoyi kama e de ama ba ne se wo passport na se website ne nyina wo hwe eye ne kama e de ema wo enagad e ya posi anwumre yi wo koda ipe bi na e fa posi anopa nso sorry a ye ne sa na mwa wo e ma osiachinam no ho enye den papa e be boa na fenyaro aho ahodo ekoso e wo anum yi ne nyina e de afri ho nwuma ko ya daroma e na nwumre yi wo mo eso ya se ne de nsemi e be so ma kenkanfo e me o ma hene Kofi Asempa mene
na nekwia achireba acha ibushia ma ye na wasesa oje bre na utimi ehwe kase yi ebi Facebook na ohwe ye YouTube bibia wo hwe ye mbia fiafie mu yeda munyina ase ye sori so na nwumaku ahodo no so ato aso ede ama ye wa mo ne hwa adehye yakramo